070-961.
That he single-handedly trained and raised, that they are calling him father, daddy, only for him to discover that those are children and not his. So what's your take on these, as well as the Robiho rape case? We hear that is currently cooling in a very small, tight jail. He will be sentenced to prison after the charge and investigations and everything is complete. He will be sentenced to prison. We hear that 9 years he will spend there, and we hear that Danny Alves' parents
is close, just close to getting bail. We hear, unfortunately, family and friend has discarded him, but it seems help will come from somewhere, because we're hearing that he could be out of bail anytime soon.
All right, let's hear your thoughts on this particular topic. What do you think, and what's the future for our young teenagers or young kids that are coming up playing football, engaging in sport in general? So get on our YouTube channel, get on our WhatsApp handle, as well as our Instagram page. Drop your comments. Why not? You can give us a call on 070-0010-961-961, 070-0010-961-961. Sport Bishop, can we fly?
Let the show begin.
News from the local scene. And of course, we begin from the local scene. And where else can we start the show if not from the Nigeria Premier Football League? Talking about what happened, the game between Kwara United and Eyimba FC. Sport Bishop, before I get your take on this one, one man makes a return to the show. Yes, he says, no, I need to let my voice be heard on the show because the topics indeed are interesting. Mr. Johnson Makoji, you love to call him as Mr. J. Good to have you join us on the show this evening, Mr. J.
Thank you, Uncle Fineboy. Thank you, Sports Bishop, and thank you to listeners and viewers online.
Come on, let's get the show started already, Mr. J.
Yep.
Mr. J, Sport Bishop, the game between Kwara United and Eyimba at the Lawrence Township Stadium saw an unprecedented red card. A free red card was given to Eyimba as a team with 9 yellow cards against Kwara United. We hear that the assistant coach has come out to cry out, talking about the assistant coach of Eyimba FC. Recall that their coach Finidi George, is on national assignment. Yemi Olanrewaju, the assistant coach of Eyimba United, Eyimba FC, I beg your pardon, have cried out that the referee has handled the team's game with Kwara United on March day 27 was biased. We hear that Emmanuel Ogbole's brace was enough to give Kwara United a win over the People's Elephant, who had the assistant coach sent off at the death. In a post-match thought, Olanrewaju alleged that the referee was threatened before the beginning of the second half, adding that he was too aggressive to his players. Olanrewaju also was red carded alongside Jigozie Chileku and Desmond Ojetiefen. Says that the team is always disciplined and that the red card was the first in his career as a coach. Are we seeing a conspiracy theory against Eyimba, or this is just a clear case of Eyimba's team being brutal in the game?
I don't think so. Come on, you can't give a red card to the coach it has to be for misconduct and not for erring in his view. If a coach has the right to speak with the fourth official, he's got the ability to call the fourth official and say, "Oh, I don't like what's going on here. Please explain to me why the referee gave this call. I don't quite agree with you." There's always room for disagreement. It's an emotional sport. My own take is this: having 9 players red carded and 2 players and a coach red carded in a game, it speaks of foul play. No matter how it automatically speaks of 9 players. How many players in the pitch of play? 11. So let us we made 3 changes. An average of 3/4 of the players got red carded.
Mr. J, sorry to cut you short, Sport Bishop. Mr. J, the assistant coach, that is the standing coach for Eyimba, say that the referee was threatened
Exactly.
during the halftime break, and it came back in the second half smoking hot. It was brutal. It was biased. He was off the books. And it was just brandishing the cards.
Yeah, you can say all this, but for me, one thing that we'll have to take is there's always a first time, and this is not the first. There's always a first time in anything. For him as a coach, it's the first time he has ever seen a red card in his career. But we've seen where coaches have been red carded, in as much as they have that latitude, that leverage of talking to fourth officials. I'm not saying in any way that there's something that mustn't have gone behind the scene that we might not know. I have not seen that the clip of that particular match or the incidents that must have happened. Then for me, this it calls for a lot of questioning. 9 players yellow carded out of 11 players. Maybe probably the only player that just folded his hand in this case. And football, like he said, is emotional.
I want to quote Coach Yemi Olarawaju.
Please do.
And I want us to listen to his word, because I think for a man to come out this way to explain himself in depth means he knew what he was saying.
Exactly.
He said the first half was good. He opened the game, but in the second half, I think he was threatened. You could see that everybody was all over him. He came into the second half and messed up everything. We got 9 yellow cards and 3 red cards. I only asked him a question that the last one he blew wasn't a foul, and he gave me a yellow card. And I said, you can't do this. You had a good game in the first half. Why do you change? And he gave me another yellow card. And
this is one of the problems we keep having with the Nigeria Premier League. When we were thinking that we are done with poor officiating, all of a sudden you now see something very strange that you can't even tell the angle from which it's coming from.
Now my question is this: Jay, I want to ask a question. Can't the coach and have a conversation with the officials?
He can.
Actually, he can, but the coach as well should know that the referee has the final say.
Agree.
And even if he says that though it's alleged that he was threatened, where's the evidence? Was there any video or audio evidence to match up what he says?
I'm not going to point out on the fact that he was threatened.
Okay.
What my major issue is this, is the fact that he spoke to the ref and got a yellow card. I told the ref, come on, man, you can't be doing this. And he got a yellow card immediately.
Oh well, this is what we've heard from him. We've not heard from the other parties.
That is it.
Don't forget, if there was an insulting word stated, the man would have put it in his match report. And NPFL has not said anything. That if not, he would have been banned for a long distance because he must have broken a code of conduct in the rules books. Don't forget. So for him to give 3 red cards and then a red card to the coach and then a yellow card and a red card for trying to get you to air their view. For the coach to say he had a great first half. In a first half that he was losing.
That means from his word, in my
you get what I'm saying?
That we can see some fairness in his post-match
judgment. I want to see
but then we can't just hear from one side.
Exactly.
And then,
I want to see investigation take place.
All right.
I want to see quick investigation and let the culprit be brought to book.
All right.
Exactly.
Moving forward from that, Eimba and Kwara United fracas, we will continue to keep tab on that story, bringing you report from the NPFL as well as the response from the referee as well as Kwara United. But one game that was super exciting, Sport Bishop Mr. J, was the game between Plateau United and Aqua United.
Yeah.
We saw a stadium that was filled to capacity. It was packed, it was choked, it was amazing.
It looked like Super Eagles game in Plateau State. We
thought it was only Remo Stars and Sporting Lagos that can bring such crowd.
Come on,
we thought it was only Eimba and Enugu Rangers that can pull such crowd. But come on, we are talking about Plateau United and Aqua United.
The main owner of crowd, Carlo Pila, Sani Abacha Stadium. No team can do that. It's a routine. It's a culture in Kano.
I mean, both the home side and the away side.
Their home fans will pack the whole stadium. You don't need to come with your fans. Don't worry. But anyway, it's something we need to comment. It tells that our league is marketable.
It's marketable, but that for me,
it shows our league is improving. Yes. But that is where the market is lacking.
Yes.
That is where we
imagine everybody who came to that stadium paid a fee to watch the game. Imagine there was sales of merchandise during the game.
Absolutely, Mr.
Imagine
J.
there was franchise. Come on.
Just a moment, Mr. J. Just a moment, Sport Bishop.
Yeah.
Imagine the tin companies. We know Plateau States to be the home of tin, of columbite, of phosphorus, and what have you? That's a phosphate being transformed to phosphorus. Imagine we have all this elite company capitalizing on the crowd that came to see that game to sponsor Plateau United, sponsor some of their jerseys as a franchise, sponsor some of these things. This is where the market of the NPFL and Plateau United will definitely blossom. Don't you agree with me, Mr.
Yeah, most definitely. Because before now we've been clamoring for our own. We should be giving our own the needed support.
Absolutely.
And from the fans' point of view, or from their own aspect, this is all they can do. On their match day, the fans have come out en masse to give them the home crowd support. Let's even agree that the whole crowd we saw there is just for the home. If every other clubs can replicate, can follow suit and do same in their own stadium whenever they are hosting their own home games, I think it will go a long way in promoting our league and bringing in sponsorship deals.
For me, I think the biggest point is the fact that the home team lost and there was no fracas.
Exactly. That was the take from the whole team.
Despite the whole
hula baloo over the weekend.
Everybody went home happy, smile, and they even got a penalty late in that game to win that game.
And this is a replica of the
Kwara United.
No. The leagues were seen abroad that way. It doesn't matter. See, this is one of the things I want in a league. It should be very, very competitive. It shouldn't matter whether you are playing at home or you are playing away. As long as you perform very well, you should be able to win the game.
All right, as long as you're on top of your game, 3 points is a guarantee. Sport Bishop, Mr. J, let me put it to you guys that the game between the Niger Tornadoes and Shooting Stars is already begun. A 14 minutes old into that game, and it is goalless.
Yeah, Niger Tornadoes are sitting on the standing. They need to win that game, to be sincere with you. Niger Tornadoes sit on the table and trying to fetch where they are. They sit 18th on the log. Even with the point, they still remain in relegation zone. But if they do win, they could leapfrog to 32 points and move up away from relegation zone, just above Bayelsa United, who got a good point away from home during the weekend. So Niger Tornadoes are condemned to win this one. It is a must-win for Niger Tornadoes. But for Shooting Stars, it's about climbing up. They win this game, they move for the 3 points, they move to 6th on the table. Just I beg your pardon, just 5 points from the top of the table. And if you look at it, 2 points from top 4. So it's all about continental football for Bengal Gubote and the 3FC boys. If they get a victory in this one, which we hear looks like somebody has put in a goal already in this encounter, not yet, I beg your pardon. But if Shooting Stars win this game, they put themselves back in the continental phase. But for Niger Tornadoes, it's about staying safe, playing MPFL football. Come next week.
Mr. J, the last time these two teams met was far back. That was last year in the first round, where Shooting Stars ran away with a 4-1 win over Niger Tornadoes. And if you look at their last 2 games, Shooting Stars have come out tops against Niger Tornadoes. Now, Niger Tornadoes will be playing at home. Do you see them going on a revenge mission, or is going to be win as usual for Shooting Stars?
Not just playing at home that is even a fear factor there. The fact that they are in a relegation zone and they are fighting that battle to get out of that place is not, for me, the way I'm seeing it's not going to be, it might not be a game as usual, you understand, because when you are playing a relegation threatened team, you have to come on with there's that extra push, because no team in a relegation zone is comfortable being there. So even if, as long as they are not confirmed, their relegation has not been confirmed, there's always that fight. And at this point of the season, whereby games are very few to go now, you understand. So there is going to be a very serious fight. The opponent,
Niger Tornadoes?
No. The Shooting Stars, they may not have much to lose, and you understand. Whether win or lose, they are still within. They are still in the mid-table kind of. But the major fight, who needs this game most, is the Niger Tornadoes.
Okay, who need this game most? According to Mr. J, believes it is Niger Tornadoes.
Yeah, let's quickly read out the results of games in the MPFL quickly before we dump. Plateau 4-0. Forgive my French. It is Caterpillar as well. Sporting Lagos nil, and Doma United 1, Gombe United 1, Heartland 1, Enugu Rangers 2. United lost to Aqua United by a goal to 2. Remo Stars beat Bengal Insurance Mondo Diggers team in Ikeda by 2 goals to 0 as we speak. 16 minutes gone. It's 2 goal left between Niger Tornadoes and of course Shooting Stars.
Come the 5th of April, it will be battle for France 2024 Olympics, where the Super Falcons will be at home to welcome the Bayana of South Africa. We hear that Coach Randy Waldron has released 22 players for this game, with the return of the likes of Ashley Plumtree, the likes of Azizat Oshoala, not forgetting ever dependable Chiamaka Nadozie. We hear that Mommy Gio is in for this one, Rashidat Ajibade, and of course there's a return for the likes of Esther Okoronkwo as well as Uche Nakanu. Mr. J, Sport Bishop, Coach Desiree Ellis have come out to bank on the fans to push them through to the Olympics. She has also banked on the altitude to help them defeat the Super Falcons.
They took that game to Pretoria. It's intentional.
Just to play the Super Falcons.
Absolutely.
And with the way the Super Falcons have been absent from the Olympics, 16 years they haven't played in the Olympics, and this game looks very, very crucial for Coach Randy Waldron as well as Nigerians in general. What are you seeing in this game? Are you comfortable with the list that have been released by the coach? Quickly now, let's run through the names that the coach has released from the goalkeepers. We have the likes of Chiamaka Nadozie, Tochukwu Olueyi, and Linda Jukwaku. From the defenders, we have Osinachi Ohale, ever dependable, Ashley Plumtree, Shukurat Oladipo, Michelle Alozie. Sweetheart. Not forgetting Nicola Pine as well as Chidima Okeke. From the midfielders, we have Deborah Biodu. We also have Alimatu Ainde, Christy Ucheibe, and Jennifer Echegini. We have Rashida Ajibade and Tony Pine. Up front, that happens to be the powerhouse for the Super Falcons. We have Omorishola Babajide. We also have Esther Okoronkwo, Ifoma Onumonu, Azizat Oshuola Agbabola. We have Uchena Kanu as well as Gift Monday. And not forgetting the last on the list, Chiwendu Yizwo.
I'll start off from this. This lady was sent to the dark dust, if you ask me. She's not been called up since 2019 after she picked up an injury for Nigeria at the World Cup under coach Thomas Denabi. I thought about Chidima Okenke, where that she was in Real Madrid. Now she's been given a record since 2019. That's how many years now? Plus minus 5 years. Also making a return is Chidima Uweze. She's been there for some time, disappeared, came back, disappeared again, and she has found her way back into the team. And of course, to me, the biggest inclusion for me is Shukurat Ladipo. She was one of our best players at the just completed African game in Accra, Ghana. The under 20 player, played so well, solid in the back line. She was fantastic. She plays for Remo Ladies. What a defender she's been so far. A revelation she's been so far this season in the NWFL. So I'm happy with the inclusion. But my question is this. Defensively, I think we're a bit shaky. Chidima Okeke is a very good player. I was so surprised when she was dropped. But is she going to be up to speed playing with this set of girls? The girls she played, most of them are no longer here. The likes of Rita Chikwelu. There is no Demei. She's out of this one. There's no Rafiat Imura. She's out in this one.
Also another important name missing.
Exactly. And they have a goalkeeper talking about Jiwaku. This lady is not only the first choice in our team in Bayelsa United. It seems that third choice goalkeeper is a rotational. At some point it was Moyo Yono or Bayelsa, and then it was changed to something Abia from Heartland of Owerri, and now it is Linda Jiwaku, who is even struggling to get a first team. She was even at the Under 17 World Cup last time out, and she did not play. She was benched by a certain fate of Milana.
Of course, and she's young, just to get her exposure, don't you think?
Come on, man. I think this Super Eagles is not a learning curve. I repeat.
Super Falcons
and Super Eagles is not a learning curve. Why do you think I'm commending Shukura Oladipo? I think she's good enough, she's old enough. But why Linda Jiwaku?
She proved her way.
Absolutely. So for me, I think the list is not too bad, but I think there's a problem defensively. Particularly with the absence of return of Nico Payne, who's defensively is not there for me. Imura and Demey, they will be solely missed. I wonder who will partner with Snachi. I'm looking at the midfield right now, the defense right now. I'm looking at who will partner with Snachi. Except Ashley Pumphrey comes in, and then Alozie goes to the left back. But you could see there's an issue with the left back because our only natural left-sided
is Ashley Pumphrey.
Is Ashley Pumphrey right now, and she's more or less the centre back. So for me, we'll keep our fingers crossed and see what we expect from the Super Falcons.
Mr. J, do you believe the defense is the problem, or it's just an open thing?
I wouldn't question this squad.
The squad that does not have Sebastian Osi.
For him, he wants to agree with the coach. He wants to keep faith with the coach.
I wouldn't. I said it, I will repeat it again that I would not question this.
Of course.
They are playing Bayana.
Here is a game that both sides needs it very well.
Okay.
True.
The coach knows the job at hand. You just
how
many editions is it? Hold on.
He may not even be in charge of this one. He's being tied up in this club far away in United States, University of I'm trying to remember the university right now.
My brother.
There's a big report that he may not be here for the
Let me just buzz the
for the
bubble.
Olympics.
Super Eagles does not have a substantive
Super
push
Falcons?
yet.
No.
But we've won.
Okay.
We've won Ghana.
This is
and we'll win Mali again. Hold on.
Okay.
Being him, they want to take us or not, they want to take us.
Okay.
But for now, he is the coach of the Super Falcons.
Absolutely.
He knows that he has a job at hand by qualifying Nigeria for the Olympics. If he comes, good and fine.
Are you super confident that he can after 16 years?
Yes.
I think I've rest my case.
Okay.
Yes, I am super confident. Even though Bayana is a very familiar food.
These are Ellis. Tempo Sensei. Tempo Kaklana.
Hold on. It's a very familiar food. But we've been able to overcome
in the
them.
last how many years? How many times have we beaten Bayana?
We win them to African championship. You understand?
They beat you in the group stage, beat you in the semi-final.
The last time the Super Falcons defeated the Bayana was in 2016.
No.
It was in 2016. We have it on record. It was in 2016. That
back.
was 8 years back. But that doesn't mean that it cannot be
It's up to 8 years
replicated.
already.
It's 8 years, Mr. J.
The last time
It's
won the
8 years.
Afcon.
And then, just so you know, Elise is the best female coach in Africa, according to the last award. Talking about the CAF award. But I am not afraid.
I am not
We
afraid.
believe what the girls can do. The girls know what's at stake, and that is the Olympics.
Desiree has this guy's wild drops number. They've met twice, and she has beaten him twice comfortably. The first time Nigeria conceded more than 2 goals against Bayana was guess where at the Aisha Cup. And we lost that game 4-2. Fast forward to the African Cup of Nations, and we lost the game.
That Aisha Cup is a friendly for me.
Let us remind.
And prior to that,
in your backyard.
prior to that, we've defeated them.
After that, what happened?
Mr. J,
after our defeat to them, no one knows what will happen. But in this one, we'll change the narratives again.
Eric Ten Hag has lost twice to Jurgen Klopp last season, and anytime they meet,
who knows that?
But this
Eric
season,
Ten Hag will beat Jurgen Klopp.
They have met twice, and he has been undefeated. We hold him. Let's move over to the games that will be going down later tomorrow. The all-important crucial game 4. You can call him that. Talking about the interim coach of the Super Eagles, Coach Finidi George. He says expect new players, expect new legs, but the result will stay the same. We are coming to win. We hear that Calvin Bassey will not be featuring in this one. We also hear that Frank Onyeka also is out injured. But then, are you comfortable that Mali will be a pushover? For
No. See, the point here is I am very, very happy because if you don't use friendly to discover and experiment, which other match will you use? Let's forget the fact that we shouldn't blow this out of proportion. Okay. It's a friendly, and he has said that his target is to make the result the same way as in getting the win out of this game. So this is the right time for us to see new players. Because if we don't discover new players, what are we going to do if there is any injury to any of the key players we have? There may be a very key player out there, but because we've not seen them play, we won't really rate them. But if they come on board in this friendly and they showcase their talent, we'll have more players to clamor for.
Okay. Anyway, let's give you the players who are injured. You know, we have a long list of injured players from William Trus Ekong to Olua Aino, Seydou Sanusi, Gabriel Osho, Tyrone Ebuehi, Taiwo Awoniyi, Victor Osimhen, and Victor Boniface.
Now, these are regulars.
Absolutely.
And even if they are fit, I wouldn't even want them to play. True, this is friendly.
Mali beat Mauritania 2 goals.
It doesn't matter what the result will be for me.
But for me, I think I love what the coach says about giving new players a chance to express themselves. A lot of Lekki Ojo, Kenneth Merwa is fit to play, Jamilu Collins, Al Hassan, and Yusuf.
We have some experience there.
Sadiq Umar and Nathan Teller play, and of course, Fisher Odere Bashiru. Let's give them a run out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a do or die.
Exactly.
It's not a do or die. But I want to see good football. Like I saw
that is
against
the
Ghana.
most important thing.
Absolutely.
All right, and finally, before we go on our first commercial break on the show, let's just brush this up in 1 minute, Mr. J. It's been dollar rain for Team Nigeria, finishing the All-African Games as the second best team with 120 medals to their name, 47 gold, 33 silver, and 40 bronze. Quite impeccable. We hear that they have been rewarded with $3,000. That's about 4.4 million naira. That's for gold. Gold medals. Then for the silver medals, $2,000, and that's about 2.7 million naira. And then the bronze, $1,000, which is approximately 1.7 million naira.
That's what I'm enjoying. I love so much. Coaches will get $5,000 for gold, $25 for silver, and $1,000 for bronze. So the coaches are not left out. So.
Of course, they are not.
They don't have any medal, but they'll get some good cash.
Mr. J, Sport Bishop and I concluded that come the 2027 edition in Egypt, we are going for Ludo. Do you want to join us?
Yeah, very good. Because, but one thing we have to take from this is that Nigeria is getting out of the shackle in competing for as many games as possible. And that is the thing that has given us this leverage to win more trophies. When we are going for all Africa games,
and you say you have a specific
Olympics and everything, the sport we are so familiar with will give us just one medal. But for you to come out on top of this kind of event, you have to be good in so many sports.
For me, it's a good one. We'll see how well they can go from here. But like I said, I love the fact that there's a reward system in place to reward people who have shown promise and has raised the bar for Nigeria outside the country. That's my own take on
and the idea that to the winners, they should just go and invest this money very well so that by tomorrow, honestly,
on coaches, on getting fit for the next competition.
Exactly. That's the investment. I mean investment in
and
all
a big shout out
aspects.
as well to the senator, the minister of sport development, Senator John Owen Eno. He promised them that they would not be shortchanged, and he's true to his word.
One thing to promise. Another thing is to fulfill those promises. Of course, on the show, we always fulfill our promises when we say we want to go on a break, and when we return, we come back better. But keep your calls coming, keep your message coming on the topic. The scandal between Jeremy and G-Tips, who discovered that two of his children are not his. He's filing for divorce. And the case of Robinho of Brazil, he has been sentenced to jail for the moment, pending when he will be asked to go live 9 years of his life in prison. All these and many more loading as we hear that Chelsea have kind of confirmed and make approach for Victor Osimhen. All these and many more loading on the show. Keep the comments on 070-0010-961-961. On our YouTube handle, we are streaming live VOP 96.1 Abuja. VOP 96.1 Abuja. We will be right back.
We bring you all the big stories and what's behind them. Politics, business, sports, news, all on VOP 96.1 FM. Now you have a voice.
Baide.
Inakwana.
Good morning.
Ilahiala.
Ekaro.
Obohia. Good morning.
Mewa.
Edio.
Tutuama. Keideo.
Good morning. Rise and shine. This is the morning ride. We have got an action-packed day ahead with headlines, sports, business, great conversation. Start your day right with VOP's morning ride. Weekdays from 5 a.m. Good morning. Good morning.
VOP Roundup. Here, we ask the right questions. We have the conversations that matter with the people who matter. A radio show designed just for you. Join VOP Roundup weekdays at 7 p.m. on VOP 96.1 FM. Now you have a voice.
Today's sun is so hot though.
So what are you waiting for? Get the authentic taste of creamy cold berry ice cream. To order online from Gariki, call 090 88315907, Guarimpa 090-88315909, and Lugbe 090-88453416.
Enjoy authentic cold berry ice cream.
Voice of the People, 96.1 FM.
Tune in for all the action. Rep your team and be loyal to the game. Sports Lounge, weekdays 4 to 5 p.m. Now, you have a voice.
All thanks to you. Keep viewing, keep telling your friends, do the work of a sports evangelist, and tell everybody you come across with, and tell them that, look, we are the #1 sports station right here in Abuja. Sport Bishop, Mr. J, always a pleasure talking sport, but this time, let's talk something that will break the hearts of married football lovers. We'll be right back. Let's take you to the foreign scene. And to the foreign scene, I will take you as a former Chelsea and Cameroonian midfielder Jeremy Njita has filed for divorce from his wife Laura Fosso after DNA tests has showed his 2 children were fathered by her ex-lover. Jeremy, who is 45 years old, says that the couple twins were born after wife had a fling. Mr. J, you can understand the story from a married perspective.
Very
Sport Bishop can try to understand.
You wouldn't understand as much as I do.
Okay, as much as you do. Wow.
But because how can you imagine a marriage that has produced also as
2 lovely children.
2 children. One is 18, another one is 17. That means that marriage has been for 18 years now. You understand? And then for you to now discover that, and they have just these 2 children.
Of course.
And for you to discover that you are still childless. Where are you going to start from?
Wow.
It's a pity. I feel very sad for Jeremy Njita. This name is a very big name in football, in African football, and when he was playing in Chelsea, it was a very big a flying factor then. So for it now to happen, DNA, it hardly lies. But it's very unfortunate that he got married to a cheating partner.
Sport Bishop, from the reports that we are getting live from the court proceedings, we hear that the documents as well as the documentation from the court section says that she destroyed the harmony of their marriage through abject behavior. We are also told that she was a repeated liar.
You see,
more like always telling lies that no children have been born from this union. That shows that the 2 kids actually came from the ex, justifying the fact that, look, the man has been right after all. Why pin another man's children on this young man?
Life just happened to Jeremy Njita. I think he's not the first player to go through some. We've seen some players who has also gone through bankruptcy as well. Players like Emmanuel Eboué, when his wife took away his property, took away his family, and he had to start from scratch. And this is why a lot of people tell you, okay, as a Nigerian, please do not go to, don't go to the European scene to go and get married. Please ensure you come back home. To that. But come on, you see, we don't tell ourselves where we fall in love. It's simple. You can fall in love in Afghanistan, Indonesia, anywhere.
Fall in love.
That is the only place
in Afghanistan.
That's the only place I agree can fall in love. But if you are playing for Afghanistan, there's a problem. You can fall in love. You can go to anyone and
my
fall in
brother,
love.
it's
For
a
me,
very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. And I think I'm more interested in his mental health for Jeremy Njita.
We heard that he has filed for divorce.
Oh yes, he has.
He wants to end every union with this woman.
But
if this woman can deceive her for 18 years, who knows what she's capable of?
What about the kids who has called him daddy? How does she reformat their brain and say, please, this guy is not your dad? And the mom,
for me,
and the mom may be emotionally attached to the children as well.
That's why it's a very hard one to take. But
we can laugh and laugh and laugh, but trust me, it is painful, it is heartbreaking, it's have the psychological damage to the children.
I remember when I told Fiber, I said, okay, after the divorce, what next? These kids still call you daddy. They will still look for you. So they call you that. It's automatically you're a father by proxy. You're taking care of that kid to their latter stages. The woman has played her. Imagine, I know the funny part. If we go back to the story, you realize that this man had already given birth before Jetta met her for that same ex-lover, and he still took her in the sake of love. And then for her to go back.
Wait, my question is, why did she leave this ex-lover now?
It's for her to tell us.
Maybe security, financial security, who knows? Jetta was playing in the biggest team. This guy was the guy who played for Chelsea. Won the Afcon competition back to back in the days of the Rickabeck songs.
But should Jetta just stop at divorcing her?
What can he do?
If that is the way forward for him, penalty.
Yes.
I was one who believe that when certain for footballers, when certain ladies come and accuse you of rape,
I look at what footballers go through.
You can. I want there to be penalty for those who accuse and say sorry. I was trying.
Yes.
But in this case,
when
how do you want
discovered that it's lies?
Exactly.
There's no way you can say sorry to this.
How do you want to punish this man? Where in the law is there a carry that can punish a woman who lied?
Who is having
it's
an infidel.
Now,
and no punishment for infidelity
in the law.
Moving forward, guys, what can we say to our future football stars as well as young footballers that are already playing, the likes of Hendrick, the likes of Garnacho, the likes of you go to Chelsea, we have lots of them. You come to Arsenal.
Let's come back home.
Kelechi.
The likes of
looking at their role model in the person of Robinho, in the person of Dani Alves, and then a person of Anthony, Benjamin Mendy.
Mason Greenwood.
What can we say? Oh, Mason Greenwood, even though it looks like his own case is more like consensual, but a young adult agreeing to the BSDM kind of activities. Well, it is consensual according to the couples now, but we are talking about when a no is said and you went ahead to force your way. We hear that Rubio is currently in jail.
Is in jail? So one man is begging for arms to get to be released.
And the family is getting themselves distanced from Alves, as I heard.
Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they?
Why should they? Didn't he help them when he was making all this money? You need to go back and check his life.
Did they send him to go commit such an atrocity? See, let me be sincere. Nobody wants to be tainted. If you're let's assume that in the African context where we hear, they say, this is the mother of a so-called rape. I don't want her to walk the street. So for me, I think I'm happy that, like I said, he soon be released on conditional bail. That's what we're hearing for 1 million. We hear that a lot of people they're coming together to ensure that he gets that bail. We are waiting to see. He should be set free, but the family are not contributing. But don't he have friends?
Yes.
Former footballers. Rubio had to call up on someone, Eto Fields. Maybe who got the first call up? Maybe if you're not Eto Fields, maybe you can call on Messi.
He called on Neymar.
Alves. Didn't he play with more influential players than Robinho?
So for me,
Iniesta and Javi and all of them are there.
For me, I think see, I think this is an example. Look at Benjamin Mendy. He's now suing Man City for that they did not pay him his full salary. Why did they not pay him his full salary? That they sidelined him, and when he was free in the court, they just told him to go. And they must pay him his salary for that period that he was sidelined. I understand where it's coming from, but listen, it tells you it's better safe than being caught up and being later found not guilty. Because it's a dent to your career. Where is Benjamin Mendy right now? Where is he playing his football? This guy was one of the best left back in the world when he won the League 1 with Monaco. Now where is Mason Greenwood? This guy should be playing in Man United, competing for the Premier League, being in the
even with the fact that Man U is lacking good player in that.
And they still have to let him go. Even the Three Lions. Imagine there's a Phil Foden in the Three Lions. There's a Rico Lewis in the Three Lions. But he can't come in.
All right, we have heard from the men in the studio. Let's hear your take. Let's hear your comments. Let's hear your advice to Njita on the studio line at 070-0010-961-961. 070-0010-961-961. Let's hear your call. Let's hear your WhatsApp call. Let's also get a message from you on WhatsApp, your voice note, WhatsApp message. We will love to hear from you. And on the YouTube page as well, let us also hear your comments. We promise to give you a voice. Guys, moving forward, we hear that Victor Osimhen is Chelsea bound. Is Chelsea the right destination for Victor Osimhen? We are talking about the African Footballer of the Year. We are talking about a man who hands in millions every month. We are talking about an unstable Chelsea where we hear that Todd Boehly might be sacked from being the chairman, even though he has 3 years to run the chairmanship. But poor result will force Chelsea board to take off that position from him. Yeah. Chelsea finished 12th last season, and now they are still looking for a long in area 11 to take them away from the 11th position in the EPL.
At least it's one step forward now.
Okay, from 12th position. But generally speaking, you look at Chelsea at the moment, you look at their gameplay, you look at their style, you look at their philosophy, you look at their plan, their motivation, Chelsea's mental health. Is it the right destination for Victor Osimhen? I know why I am putting all of this in perspective. Let's not be carried by emotion. Let's not be carried by Chelsea with the money, but looking at Chelsea as a club. We have teams like Arsenal coming for Victor Osimhen. We have teams like PSG coming for Victor Osimhen. Man U is lurking at the corner. We have Harry Kane in Bayern Munich. Give or take, Harry Kane has just a year or two to give in German football. And you say Chelsea, come take a 24-year-old Victor Osimhen. Is that the right destination for Victor Osimhen, Mr. J?
No. I would say no. Yeah, my reasons are to start with. In this modern day football, we've seen how Chelsea has run down well-known, big name strikers. You understand? Starting from Torres,
we can go on and on.
They've not been successful.
Radamel
But let's even
Falcao,
talk of
Aubameyang of late in the past.
But that is by the way.
Okay.
Victor Osimhen, the reigning African footballer of the year, our own Nigerian pride. You understand? To go and play in a team that is nowhere near where they should be. Is he going to be able to redeem this particular Chelsea? I think the answer for me is no, because if you look at the whole investment, all the names as a potential footballing prospect, or that you can mention, Chelsea has acquired them in the last 2 transfer windows, and up still yet they've been unable to get Chelsea out of the doldrum. Is it only?
Do Chelsea have an out-and-out striker?
They've had.
Who
had
is the out-and-out striker?
Successful. Aubameyang came there.
Lately,
Aubameyang came there, did well. He was sent on loan. See,
no. Are you telling me Aubameyang did well at Chelsea?
What many league was when Tuchel was sacked? While Tuchel was there, he was scoring goals. His numbers.
How many goals did he score for Chelsea? How many games did he play? What is his goal per game ratio?
He didn't play much.
Aubameyang was wasteful in Chelsea.
Very wasteful.
Sport Bishop. Let us no. Of
Chelsea,
course we are.
Chelsea for
and
me.
that was the issue. Chelsea had to send him to Barcelona because of his goal conversion ratio. It was low.
Very poor.
And they had to trust in a young Armando Broja who was churning the numbers ahead of Aubameyang at that time. Until Aubameyang had to leave, Broja picked up injury, and Chelsea was neither here nor there with the goal scoring. That was where they had the likes of Raheem Sterling, who's had the goals coming as at that time. Until this season, they had to go for an out-and-out striker in Nicholas Jackson, in Mikhailo Modric, and what have you. Aubameyang, when he was in Chelsea, going by his conversion rate in Borussia Dortmund, going by his conversion rate in Arsenal, it was expected.
And Barcelona.
How long did he play at the club?
This
man had only 15 games at Chelsea. And don't forget, majority of those games were when Thomas Tuchel left. He was a big part player after Thomas Tuchel left, and he ran to Barcelona. The man who got him was Thomas Tuchel. So you cannot say that, but he failed. Because in everywhere he's been
what was his goal conversion?
What even led to Thomas Tuchel's departure? It's one of the transfers he made that were all
that was not the problem. That was the issue we had with the board. He told the board to their face that they were learning how to run a club, and that was the beginning of the bromance between him and the owner of the club. And they were looking for ways to fire him. And then I think he lost a game. He was in the league.
So, Sports Bishop, if you are sitting on that board, will you have clapped for Aubameyang for his contribution to the club?
You don't get me. He didn't have enough time to play under
Sport
the
Bishop.
But you said he played 15 games.
When he was playing Sport Bishop,
what was the goal to game ratio?
How many of the games did he start?
You mustn't start. You can be a super sub if you are good.
Aubameyang has never been a super sub. Go and check his numbers with Barcelona. It is sickening. He played 23 games for Barcelona. I think he scored 13 goals. He
You
didn't
see,
stay long.
even at a good one.
He did not stay long.
Aubameyang last game or his last run of games
Absolutely.
was in Arsenal.
Yeah.
Was definitely in Arsenal. But the bane of discussion is right here in Victor Osimhen. So, Mr. J, Victor Osimhen to Chelsea, good move or bad move?
It's a bad move for me.
Sport Bishop.
It's an absolutely good move. There is no player in that team that can.
I see. I have an advice
Nicolas
for.
Jackson.
I have an advice for Victor Osimhen.
Please go ahead.
There's a team that is blowing hot now.
Which is the team?
Which is Arsenal. If possible, he should go and bribe his way. I'm not telling him to bribe on L, but he should go and tell his agent or whoever.
Arsenal
is also
will
looking
not
for an
sign
out
him.
and out striker.
Arsenal
He
will
should
not sign
go.
him.
He should
He should
walk
force his way.
He should walk
He should pay his
way.
transfer fee.
Whatever
over
it
100
takes
million.
for him to get to
Come on,
Arsenal,
man.
and we will see the best
See,
of Victor
Osimhen will
Osimhen.
do better at Chelsea and at Arsenal.
How many?
And I'll tell you why.
We just mentioned strikers that
Okay,
have got
guys,
that
we
failed
can
to
go.
survive.
I will tell you why. Every striker that has worked at Chelsea has got the quality of Victor Osimhen.
That is yesterday's pattern of football.
That's Chelsea for it. Has Chelsea changed?
And where are they? With them not changing.
They
Where are they?
They do not have the route to that striker. When Chelsea have a striker who scores them 30, 40 goals, they win the league. They go find the Champions League. And now they are hoping that Victor Osimhen will be that man who can get them 30 goals. See, Arsenal would not, tell me that word, not pay that amount of money for him. They would not.
How much is it that Arsenal will not pay?
Can they pay over 100 million?
Have they not paid over 100 million for who?
All right, guys.
Rice?
I can allow
that
you
was
to
80
go
million,
neck
no,
and
No,
neck and
105
neck.
million.
All right, guys. The only way Arsenal can buy Victor Osimhen is if Napoli allow them to pay instrumentally.
Yes, now because of financial fair play.
Okay, let's
because of
proceed
financial
on
fair
the
play.
show,
See,
guys.
even
Let's
before
proceed
we
on the
proceed,
show.
Even now, you cannot spread your payment. Chelsea have thought of how to. Just why using that style to.
That is what they are using. They use their money to lure players, to deceive players. Not even lure. They use money to deceive
But
players.
they know now they cannot spread it anymore because a new rule is in place.
All right, guys, let's move away from Victor Osimhen and to Chelsea, bro. We continue to track that report, hoping that when the transfer market eventually opens, we'll see if Chelsea can get their hand on Victor Osimhen or it will go elsewhere. And talking about going elsewhere, let's touch down at the game between England and Belgium as we hear that Kawaka, Harry Maguire have been ruled out in that game. So we won't be seeing these two guys in the matchup. So this a few seconds.
Yeah, good one for the Man United faithful. I think you got their Harry Maguire back. Not serious, but I tell you, if you are injured, you return. This guy pulled out, Bukayo Saka pulled out earlier. But the good news, at least, young players will have their run. Rico Lewis and James Trafford have been promoted to the senior team. Hopefully, they have their chance against Belgium.
And in Formula 1, Carlos Sainz led Charles Leclerc to Ferrari 1-2 in the Australian Grand Prix as Max Verstappen's domination for Formula 1 stalled. Sainz swept by the world champions Red Bull into the lead on the second lap before Dutchman retired with a brake failure after just 4 laps. A new champion in the Australian Grand Prix, Mr. J.
What else?
Carlos Sainz, we hear that he won after what's his name, Verstappen. His dominance have been put on hold.
Oh yeah, that is one good thing there. If you are good, and the veterans are at least they are recognizing the fact that nature or they have to leave the scene for others to come and reign, and then whom we don't know very much about have come and they are ready. He will not come back.
He does a break failure. He will come back.
Sport Bishop. In tennis, defeat and the Murray.
Murray. I think it's finally he has to tell himself the truth. His body can't take him anymore.
Yeah.
Age has come in, and he needs to find a way to go. Losing to a Thomas Machek, come on, man, in such a manner.
I'll tell you
Time
what
is
cannot.
telling
The
us.
only thing
Listen,
that
listen.
cannot take anybody anymore is me and you people in this studio. Where I cannot handle you men in this studio anymore. Can you leave?
You want to handle us three? Can you?
Can only you?
I do not know. What I do know is it's time for VOP Lifestyle 360, and today we're going to be talking about the big question on the minds of Nigerians. This DNA matter has become it has become a problem. Women are getting triggered when they hear that DNA testing should be made mandatory. Men are saying it's our right. Other men are saying I really don't care if they are my children or not. I am too afraid to know what the result
Save
is.
money for DNA.
I'm going to ask Fineboy this question, considering he's the newly married man. Have you kept DNA testing money? Let's know.
Join us on the show same
see,
time
now, these are
tomorrow.
No, we have to answer it.
You see,
On Sport Lounge. Of course, the lady needs to handle her belt, and while we the guys are step out of the building. But come on, if you love what we did, join us same time tomorrow, 4 p.m. Apologies to the calls as well as the message. We hear that the network has been very, very crazy of lately, but not to worry. We will take your message when we return tomorrow. As Sport Bishop, 8 a.m. 8:30 a.m.
8:30 a.m. with Sport Beats. 30 minutes.
Sports Bishop looked at you like that 30 minutes was the only time he had. It's like, come on, bro.
You want
Like,
to take
come
it out?
on, bro.
8:30 a.m.
That's all I have left. The kids aren't even mine. Stay with us and please don't go anywhere. From the guys,
We're
We are
done,
done.
and we are gone.
God bless.
No stress.
Adios.